Okay. Okay, thank you. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's lit. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I have a short announcement. Reverend Eric will not be here today. He's all right, but he's not well enough to come. He's had a change in his medication, and it's giving him some problems. So anyway, I today am Reverend Eric and Mary. And if Phil can do it talking to himself, I can do it. So I would like to start off by saying at the end of each service, Reverend Eric says to us, all will be well. So I like to say that at the beginning of this service, all will be well, and we will work together. So he starts off with, Bonjour mes amis. Welcome everyone to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or watching from wherever you may be, you are welcome. And I'll continue with, I am Mary, your worship associate this morning. We acknowledge that our FirstU campus is located on traditional, unsurrendered, and unceded Algonquin and Anishinaabe territory, and that the work of reconciliation is a responsibility of our congregation and of all Canadians. Our goal is to educate ourselves and all those that have the willingness to understand, to be of service to those who are at risk, and to advocate for justice. And I would like to add also that we will have the children in the service, as there's nothing downstairs for them, so enjoy the little voices as they come out at unexpected times. Christmas and Hanukkah are past. The end of the year has arrived. The next beacons. Let us begin by joining our voices in song. Please rise in body or in spirit as we sing together, Though I May Speak with Brave as Fire, number 34 in our gray hymnal, and I imagine the lyrics will be on the screen above. Though I May Speak with Brave as Fire. Before I continue, I would just like to thank my ad hoc helpers who are here. I asked Brent Nicole, president of the, or chair, whatever he's called, if he would, anyway, he's in charge of the burning ceremony later on. I will give the instructions, and Mary Ella has very graciously offered to help in whatever capacity, so she's also involved in that and in all sorts of advice and so on. Nina, where is Nina? Oh, there's Nina. She also likes to play with fire, so she is involved in this ceremony. Brent will be reading something, Mariella will be reading something, of course our Jen will be there, as always keeping us going on a straight path. So I think that's all the helpers, but thank you, and if I say your name to please come and help, please come and help. So I'm now going to do the lighting, chalice lighting with these words by Lois Van Leer. We light this chalice on the brink of a new year, letting go of what has been. Open and hopeful for what may come, renewed, restored, ready to live life fully anew, may we move forward with intention. Our chalice is lit. Come, let us worship together. Now, these are my centering words Brent, you'll be doing some later. And now we turn to how we are together. As health charges continue, do take care and take advantage of online opportunities at FirstU to stay in touch. If you are new to FirstU and would like to learn more about us, please contact us through our email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. And if you are right here in Worship Hall with us this morning and would like more information about FirstU, it is available at the welcome table at the back of the pews, and I believe Dory is there today, waving at us to welcome you. And now here is Chuck from our board to highlight some announcements for today.
Thank you, Mary. Very good New Year's Eve morning to everybody. I have a few announcements. One is, in fact, the main one is related to an event this evening here. Come join us tonight for our New Year's Eve potluck, ringing out 2023 and welcoming 2024 in community. We'll start at 5:30 in Fellowship Hall. Bring smiles and something to share with a sticker to note what the listings of ingredients are in case of allergies. We'll celebrate midnight, not until midnight now, but at 12 a.m. in Ponta Delgado, Azores in Portugal. So everybody can get home, be tucked in by the time the things really happen here. A cash bar and children's play area will be available. And a few other items from the current EUU, our electronic newsletter. To find these, the current one was sent out about 9 days ago on the 22nd. It also is available on our website by going to under the communications heading and clicking the most recent newsletter for further details. So for one item, the Adult Learning and Growth team is inviting new participants. This team develops or helps to develop and coordinate our events, programs, and activities. Please read more details in the EUU or contact Eva Berenger at hotmail.com. And I think Eva, I saw is here as well. She's waving her hands back there in the nice golden sweater. Also, the congregation's online auction is coming in the spring. This activity includes higher value items and sort of complements our fall fair activities. The organization team asks you to begin thinking of items that you may have that would be good to include. More information can be found in the recent EUU, and more information about when the auction will be taking place will be forthcoming in January. Thank you all very much. Mary?
Actually, Chuck, you were to do the welcome conclusion. Would you like me to do that? Okay. We encourage you to sign up to receive the EUU. Did you say this already? No. Our weekly email newsletter. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages and our website for notices and updates. Our calendar continues to be as full as ever, though some of our activities take place online. This morning, each of us is welcome. We, of any heritage or faith, whatever our burdens, of any culture or race, of any gender or orientation, in any body, all that we are. Today, we are all part of this spiritual community. Welcome. Now I'd like to start into the joys and sorrows, which is a very meaningful, for those who are not aware of, a very meaningful ceremony that we do each Sunday morning. Each week we pause in our time together in recognition of both the joy and sorrow in our lives and across the globe. We honor our celebrations and challenges by placing a stone in a bowl of water. As the ripples extend outward, we can imagine continuing out beyond this small bowl, out through and past our pews, out into the larger community of all. And I'm going to ask David if he would come up and put 4 stones in for me, please. We have, first of all, I guess we'll start with the sorrows. First of all is for Reverend Eric, or concern. May he get well soon. And then we have another one, for 2 actually, for Bob and Terrell, who were supposed to be in charge of hospitality, but they're not well. So if I could have 2 stones, one for Bob and one for Terrell, and may they get well soon. However, we now have two joys, and there are two, not just one, but two grand babies that arrived this morning, bright and early. The first one I heard about was for Kate and Ron, and we'd like to put in, do we have a name, or? Annika. Will be called Annika. And the second one is for Andrew and Mary Ella, and this one is named Morgan Louise, born at 3 a.m. this morning, and there's the proud grandma. So if you would put that in too. Thank you. So I ask you now to come forward to honor your own joys and sorrows by placing a stone in the water. Now, I haven't heard there are any carrying cards. Lori, I guess, is there anything to announce? Or? No. Okay. I invite you now into a time of stillness and reflection. After several moments, Jen will bring us back together with the gift of music.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Mary. The centering words are by Gretchen Haley. Whatever you have come in anticipating, whatever you expect or worry for our world, for the future, for our lives, let it go. Make space in your heart to be surprised. Make room in your soul for a new story to take shape. Let astonishment be possible at this life that remains a miracle. Imagine here the bursting of joy. Relentless and resilient, coming in waves, washing over us with music and story, silence, and still this dreaming together, being hope for each other and courage to believe in this new day dawning for us all.
Thank you, Brent. I'm going to read to you something called Preparing to Let Go, and this is to get us prepared for this burning ceremony we're going to talk about in a moment. This is by Rayla D. Matson. The year I graduated from college, I got a job and moved in with family friends. They were more family than friends, so when they bought a house, they got one with an in-law apartment so I could move in with them. It was great. I had my own entrance and bathroom and living space, but what I didn't have was a kitchen. One month, the grandmother came to visit and noticed me going in and out of their kitchen. Shortly after she left, I received an electric tea kettle in the mail. At that time, I didn't know an electric tea kettle was even a thing. She said she thought I might enjoy being able to make my own tea in my little apartment. I loved the fact that I could plug it in and make my tea. My kettle has traveled with me to several states. It's been with me through marriage and divorce and the birth of my 3 children. That little tea kettle is the only way my children have ever made tea. During the pandemic, the tea kettle came in handy. It spent time in all our bedrooms and in my office. It's easy to grab and plug it in just before a meeting and ensures warm beverages during long Zoom calls. The other day during one such meeting, I prepared everything for my meeting and my tea and plugged in the kettle. Partway through the meeting, I noticed the kettle was still cold. Later, I checked in with my daughter, who said that most days the kettle no longer works. This little tea kettle has seen me through so much of my adult life. I know it's okay to let it go, but I can't, because I feel sad to lose a spiritual practice that I didn't even realize I had. A practice I took for granted, but now that I can recognize, honor, and appreciate it. So for now, the kettle sits cold and unused in my room. As I let it go, or try to let it go, I wonder if there are other things I must say goodbye to that I'm not quite ready to let go. And we'll have a music interlude. There will not be a reflection by Reverend Eric. He has a very personal story that he'd like to tell us, and only he can deliver that story, but he'll tell us later. So we'll have a musical interlude followed by gift of music, Rise Up, O Flame.
Today's anthem, if you do want to follow along, it is number 362 in your gray hymnal. The group that's going to sing it for you today, many of them just learned it today, so this is sort of a pickup choir for the occasion. So I'd like to thank them very much for coming out this morning to sing for us. Last minute rearrangement.
Thank you, Jen and choir. What a wonderful way to start off what I'm going to say now, which is a ritual of letting go and moving forward. And for this, as I said, I have Brent, and I have Mariella, and I have Nina to help. This is a small, simple ritual to help practice letting go, to make room in our lives for what calls to the core of who we are. This ritual has been given shape by many hands. And Reverend Eric says he's especially indebted to his friend Erica Hewitt for inspiring our practice this morning. For those of you here in Worship Hall, along with your order of the service, I hope each of you also received an unsealed envelope when you arrived this morning. And Brent will show you what that looks like. The envelope should contain a small pencil and an even smaller sheet of paper, very thin. If anyone does not have those two items, please raise your hand and Nina will come around and help. Okay, not seeing anyone else who needs help at the moment. For those watching from elsewhere, if you can, and as you wish, feel free to find paper and something to write on. The paper in the envelope is very delicate. It's called flash paper because it burns quickly and without producing any ash. I'm going to invite you to come forward after a few minutes and burn what you've written on the paper. So, as you see, we have a bowl. I have to change the things. As you can see, we have a bowl for burning in front of us, in between the other bowls. And Brent will light it from our chalice flame and demonstrate what burning these small sheets of paper looks like. On the other hand, we may have to change our procedure. Move the chalice down. Mariella has suggested moving the chalice down. What would you like me to do? Nothing. Sure. Okay, thank you, Mariella. So Brent will demonstrate what burning these small sheets of paper looks like. So you don't want to have your fingers nearby. And it continues burning. Should it be put out somehow? Okay. Please know that there is a bucket with water and a damp towel right at hand at the end of the first pew. So if anyone's concerned, don't be. And everything all will be well. And if you'd like us to burn your paper without looking at it, we'd be happy to do so. We're going to be safe here this morning. So that's the how. Let's return to the what. Using whatever writing instrument works best for you, take a piece of the paper and reflect on the year behind you. You may be as long as you like, but we are going to start soon. Consider what you might leave behind today, burning it brightly so that it changes form and disappears. What parts of our lives, what things, ideas, people, ways of living have become obstacles to our becoming the people we want to be, the people we need to be? What's holding you back? What's getting in the way of you living as fully as you'd like to? What might you burn away? What would you like to relinquish? Write a word or two on the paper. Nobody will see it except you, maybe the flame. So I'll give you a few moments while Jen plays some gentle music to get us inspired. What Brent was trying to tell me is to please hang on to and return the envelope. We don't want you to burn the envelope. Just burn the little piece of paper. If you can leave it in the pew or bring it up and put it aside or whatever, but we would like to have the envelopes back, please. So, for the next few minutes, the music will invite you forward so that you can put your paper into the fire. The flame will take it quickly, as you can see. As flame takes the paper, let it go. And again, if you're more comfortable, we can burn the paper for you. Please just raise your hand and someone will come around and get your paper. Ooh, and do stand back. The fire will do the rest. Is there anyone who would like to have their paper delivered to the flame? Please raise your hand if so. Thank you, Brent, and everyone who participated in that very rather adventuresome opportunity. If the past year held joy and growth for you, may that sweetness continue to bless you. If the past year held pain and bitterness, may you be relieved of those burdens and renewed for the journey ahead. Let us look to the new with hope, with curiosity about its many unknowns, and with faith in our strength to navigate it with grace. And so may it be. Amen. I invite the ushers to start passing the baskets at this time. This congregation has a long history of care, vitality, and bringing people together to move the arc of justice forward. We have been able to live into our hopes and dreams because of the generosity of those within and beyond this community. Whether you are here in Worship Hall or anywhere else, you are part of this community. To make a gift in support of the work of this congregation, you don't need to use the baskets that are now beginning to make their way among our pews. Wherever you are invited to go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how to make a donation or keep up with your pledge. Our gifts are freely given and gratefully received. We dedicate these gifts to the work of this community of faith, serving human wholeness, caring for the planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. And now please rise as you are willing and able as we join together in our closing hymn before the winter solstice, The Fire of Commitment, number 1028 in our teal hymnal. Before we begin to close this time of worship and reflection, a reminder that coffee hour will begin in Fellowship Hall immediately after this service. And if you are new here, still feel new, or simply welcome conversation today, please pick up a green mug as you enter Fellowship Hall. Doing so will help others looking forward to good conversation find you. We extinguish our chalice this morning to words by Sarah Lawal. Out of the flames of fear, we rise with courage of our deepest convictions to stand for justice, inclusion, and peace. Out of the flames of scrutiny, we rise to proclaim our faith with hope to heal a fractured and burning world. Excuse me, it's actually a fractured and hurting world. Out of the flames of doubt, we rise to embrace the mystery, wonder, and awe of all there is and all that is yet to be. Out of the flames of hate, we rise with the force of love, love that celebrates our shared humanity. Out of the flames, we rise. This morning's chalice is extinguished, the spark of our connections and faith remains, and I would ask Jane to come forward, who wants to talk to us about our community.
A particular part of our community. I just wanted, I think on behalf of all of us today, I hope, to thank Mary and Mariella and Brent and Jen, and everybody who figured out how to make this work on an unexpected outcome for the service. And so thank her so much, because I think it's a wonderful example of caring community. Thank you.
I invite you to reach your hands out to everyone here and throughout the world. As we prepare now to leave this space, may our hearts remain open and our minds remain clear. We are people of both reason and heart, of both memory and hope. May we also remain people of love, providing a place in this world for our spirit, a place called home. And now, as we return to the challenge of helping the world come alive in love, let us go forward in peace, my friends. Go in peace.